What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the Titans Talk podcast with Bryce and Kobe. Kobe, what's up, my man?
Not much. How are you doing?
Doing well, doing well. So obviously, this is our first episode. We're getting something started for you guys right in time for the season. Me and Kobe have been friends for a while now. Kind of just trying to share our Titans thoughts and opinions with everybody. I'll go first, tell a little bit about myself. If you don't know me, I run Titans on SI for Sports Illustrated. Have a great team over there. We put up a lot of unique Titans content every single day. So if you ever like reading about the Titans, check us out, Titans on SI. And yeah, Kobe, tell a little bit about yourself.
My name is Kobe Allen. Also Champagne Kobe on X. That's probably where you'll be familiar with my name. Just a huge Titans fan and looking to get into the analysis side of it. Just love sharing my thoughts about football in general and just the Titans that I love have loved for a long time. So yeah, I'm a former football player. Played a little bit of college football. So yeah, I just love the game and love to share my thoughts, and can't wait for you guys to hear what we gotta talk about.
So you're not from Tennessee, correct?
No, I am not. I was born in Warrensburg. Shout out Delaney Walker. That's where he played college ball. But I only lived there for a short stint and then spent my childhood in St. Louis, and that's where I call home.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So what made you be a Titans fan in the first place?
So it's funny because my dad's a football coach, so I've been a
Mhm.
fan of football ever since I came out of the womb. Um, and then so when I first started watching football, I actually really loved Peyton Manning, which is weird. So it's crazy that I'm not a Colts fan. But then my dad took me to a Mizzou Tigers game when I was young. I think I was in like second grade, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And they're playing the Texas Longhorns. And after the game, my dad knew some of the Mizzou players, so we got to go in the locker room and stuff, and then snuck out back, and we caught Vince Young and the Longhorns leaving. Um, and I actually got Vince Young's autograph, and then from there, I loved Vince Young. I just watched Vince
Gotcha.
Young all the time. And then once we drafted Vince Young, that was the writing on the wall for me. I just love really the colors. I love the blue color a lot. And then Vince Young was the factor that drew me to the Titans the most. So I've loved him ever since.
Gotcha. That's cool. I don't have a cool story like that. I'm just born and raised here, so
There you go.
blessing and a curse, I guess. Um, yeah. So Titans talk with Bryce and Kobe. We're going to be coming up. We're going to be doing at least one episode during the season every week. Um, you know, we'll come up with the logistics. We'll tweet that out as far as because we got to do a recap and we got to do a preview. So we'll come up with that. We'll figure out what works. But yeah, you're going to have at least one new episode every single week during the season. Um, this one will be a little bit shorter than most because we're just kind of starting out here. First episode, the pilot. So this one will be a little shorter. But yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited to get into it. We're going to go ahead and get a little bit into it. I mean, why not? You
Let's
got
get it.
training camps starting next week. So I want to pass this to you, Kobe. I want to ask you, what is the number one? Because you're very optimistic. Okay, so everybody that knows you is going to know you're very optimistic.
Very.
You're very optimistic. I think you're even predicting Super Bowl. So I want to ask you this: what is the number one position group that does worry you headed into training camp?
Definitely the offensive line. And it's not necessarily the talent. I think the talent is it's there. I think we're just a very young group out of the offensive line.
Right.
And we have some new faces that have come in. But the center and right guard spot, especially, I think the other three spots are gonna be, especially with another year together. I think left tackle, left guard, and right tackle. If we can keep JC Latham healthy, I think those three spots are gonna be better than they were last year. But center and right guard is very. concerning, yes. But I would say I'm most worried about those two, the right guard and the center spot, just because we don't have those solidified guys. It's kind of a question mark. We have new guys coming in,
Mhm.
especially without bringing back Zeitler. That right guard spot's a huge question mark. And then we brought in Slotman from the Giants, who wasn't a starter. He Dable knows him, so that's also a question mark.
Right.
So I think though that those positions, that really the whole offensive line as a group is a question mark, and my biggest concern going into the season, going into training camp, and I hope we get some answers during training camp.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only position that you can honestly say like you feel pretty good about on the line is left guard.
Yeah.
I mean, Skoronski is going to be one of the best left guards in the league, but I mean, Dan Moore was Dan Moore at left tackle was better than the previous few left tackles, but that's not saying much. I mean,
Not saying a whole
I
lot.
mean, I think me and you might have been just as good as Dennis
For
Daly.
sure.
I mean, it wasn't. So I mean, I'm not completely out on Dan Moore. I mean, I think he's way overpaid, but I think he can be fine. I think he can be
Yeah.
serviceable. J.C. Latham is the biggest X factor because he has not. Let's just call a spade a spade. He has not performed like well enough for his draft spot. I
No,
mean, your
not at
top
all.
10 pick. He has not played like a top 10 pick. I mean, again, I'd say he's probably serviceable, but you can't. Dan Moore and J.C. Latham have to be better than serviceable.
Have to be. Absolutely.
I mean, if Latham can take that step and just become like a top 16 tackle in the league, that would be huge. Top 20 tackle in the league. Like, just you don't have to be
Just
like one of the
average.
best. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, even average, man. Like, you don't have to be one of the best in the league, but it would be nice if we had at least two solid starters.
Right.
Um, yeah, I think right guard is definitely the biggest question mark because I'm pretty confident Schlotman's going to start at center.
Yeah.
Um, they had him available for media, which might not mean anything to you, but usually the players they let talk to media are the players they're pretty confident are going to have a big role.
Right.
Um, so that signified to me that like they feel pretty confident he's going to start. And like you said, he has experience with Dable's system. Um, I think he could be okay. Lloyd Cushenberry was horrible last year, so again, it won't be too hard to be better than that. Who do you like right now at right guard? Because you have your Jackson Slater people, you have your Cordell Volson people, and you have your Carmen people. So, who would you say you're leaning towards?
I think Volson, just because of his experience, I want to say this will be his fourth year. And I think his first 2 years he played 100% of
Mm-hmm.
the started 100% of the games, and then last year I think he played like 85% of the starting reps.
So
Um,
he missed all of last year.
he did miss all last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
He that's the thing that concerns me because you're right. He has 50 starts almost in his career. Like he's played a ton. Um,
Right.
but he got a season-ending injury last year and didn't really get to play, so he's coming off of that.
Okay. I did not
Um,
know that.
but he does have plenty of starting experience before that, so you are right there.
So
Which
yet, especially with O line, I just like the experience
right.
more, unless Carmona or somebody in Slater just is undoubtedly better in camp. I think you just got to go with the more veteran presence at that spot if he's serviceable. So that's why I would lean towards him. My personal preference is just the experience on the offensive line. I think that's the best thing you could have um, for the offensive line in general. Is just a lot of good experience in the NFL playing games, and he played in a really good offense with the Bengals. So I
Mhm.
mean, he knows what good offense is. I know their offensive line wasn't considered very good over there in Cincinnati, but playing is just very valuable to me, and I think him right now would probably be the best bet just with the experience, unless, like I said, one of those guys come out in camp and just ball out and are undeniably better than he is, I would probably go with Volson. And if he's 100% healthy, obviously. But yeah, I would say Volson would be my pick there.
Yeah, it would be nice because he's on like a really cheap 1 year deal.
Yeah.
Um, but he, like you said, he's the veteran. He's the most experienced. It would be nice if you could just slot him in and be fine. Um, Slater hasn't had a ton of chances, but he got in a little bit last year and he was okay,
Right.
mostly as a pass blocker. Um, it'll be interesting to see. You don't get to see a whole lot from the offensive line like during the summer, so until like training camp and preseason, you don't really get to see a whole lot. So
Oh yeah.
hopefully, some of it kind of like works itself out. Honestly, something I'm also worried about is like swing tackle. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've looked at the tackle depth, but
It's not
uh,
it's not great.
I don't know. Like we already told you guys, Moore and Latham aren't exactly like that great. So I can't imagine what's going to happen if one of them goes down because I mean the backup offensive tackles are not
No.
nobody you'd feel comfortable starting.
No.
I mean, you have Brandon Crenshaw Dixon, who made the team as a UDFA last year. Okay, whatever. Then you have Austin Deculus, who was brought in free agency, and he was legitimately like Pro Football Focus rated him as the worst tackle in the league. So I don't really know if you feel comfortable with him. And then you have a couple of UDFAs. That's the depth. That's the tackle depth. So
Do you
you know,
think we bring in somebody else if they're, I mean, like a Decker or somebody,
yeah.
if
I
they're
mean,
that bad in camp?
yeah. If they're, I think they're getting. So Robert Salas said like a month ago. He said um, it's going to be a while before we know who the swing tackle is, which was interesting to me that he said that. Which to me it makes it sound like he knows that they suck there.
Right.
So I don't know. I think they're going to give these guys camp and see if anybody can stand out. It would be
Yeah.
nice, like Emil Wagner. I liked him coming out. I thought he would get drafted. Um, but then again, even if Emil Wagner is good, like, do you really want to rely on an undrafted free agent as your main
Exactly.
backup?
Exactly. I don't
So
I don't think you can.
I mean, you got Taylor Decker, you got Jack Conklin. Jack Conklin's a free agent. You never
Yep.
know. Um, there are some options, and obviously, like 1,000 people are about to get cut in the next month, so
Right.
you'll
Right.
have an opportunity to scour the waiver wire a little bit. I don't know. I do think they will make a move though, unless somebody just completely blows them away. Because
Yeah.
right now, I think there's only 8 linemen that I'm confident will make the team, and the ninth spot would be a tackle. So that's the biggest. That and the starting right guard and backup tackle are the two things I'm.
For sure. Very
Yeah.
concerning. Hopefully somebody just surprises everyone during camp and takes that step that we desperately need um, at those spots.
Well, I've got another spot too. So the secondary. What do you think about the secondary? So for anybody who doesn't know, like obviously you have a couple of the new starters at corner. You got Cordell Flott and Alante Taylor, and then Marcus Harris will be the nickel again. Then in the safeties, you got Kevin Winston Jr., who people expect a big second year from, and you got Amani Hooker, who's just like the stable veteran.
Yeah.
The problem is you don't have much behind in the safety room or the corner room. I mean, I feel a little bit better about the cornerback depth than I did a couple months ago because Keydrane Callaghan and Micah Robinson really impressed me this summer.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
Flott and Taylor had some stuff going on. They weren't at OTAs. So those two guys had a chance to kind of step in, and they both got a couple interceptions. They both,
Mhm.
they look like they at least belong in the league. So
Right.
the the depth might be a little bit better. I mean, I still think it's a little surprising they
Iffy.
didn't get any more depth at nickel.
Yeah. Um, I really like. I think we should go get Kenny
Kenny
Moore.
Moore.
I really do think we should go grab him. Um, because I mean Marcus Harris is definitely going to be the starter there at nickel. Um, but you can never have enough depth at D back in general. especially in today's passing league. Everybody's passing. You need guys to rotate in. Um, so yeah, I really like our starters. I like Flott a lot. He was my favorite free
Me
agent
too.
signing. I really like him. And I don't he gets a lot of negativity on social media. And I don't go exactly all the time by the numbers. I just go by what I see on Sundays. And when I watched the Giants last year, Flott was a guy that was just always around the ball.
Yeah.
He's a guy that's gonna go get it done. And if he messes up, he's gonna line right back up and he's ready for the next play. Um, but I and Salah, he runs his zone defense. So it's not like they're gonna be always matched up man to man every single play. And I think that's a good thing for who am I thinking about? The Alante Taylor.
Yeah.
He's a better zone corner. I think Flott is more of your man to man. If we do run, he's going to be the one that's going to be traveling if we do that kind of thing. But I think those two on the outside, and I tweeted this the other day. This is the best corner group that we've had, again, it's not saying a lot because our corner room has not been very good over the years. Um, but it's a group to be excited about. I mean, they were
Right.
sought after free agents that we went out and got, and that a lot of teams want. A lot of teams wanted Cordell Fly. I know the
Mhm.
Giants really wanted him back until we got him, and then he's horrible. But I think Flott is going to make a big impact on this team. Him and Alante, I think they both um, play their role very well in that zone, in that solid defense. Um, and then our safeties, like you said, Kevin Winston Jr. I'm expecting him to have a really good second year. He battled the injury coming into last year, so he didn't play the full year. But when he did play, he was always around the ball. He's not scared to go in and make tackles. He's
Mhm.
more your downhill um, safety that's going to be fitting in the run game and whatnot. And while Hooker's back there playing his role, and I think it's going to help Hooker too. I know Hooker didn't have a very good year coverage wise last year. But as a player, when you're team is just not doing what they're supposed to be doing, it's hard to have good
Yeah.
numbers, especially at the safety spot, because you're worried about so many different things around you, and that just makes your job harder. And now with the upgrade to our defensive line, the upgrade to our other corner position, and our linebacking core, it's just going to
Exactly.
make Hooker's job way easier than it was last year. So I think as a whole, our defensive back room is very improved, and it's one of the groups that I'm more excited to watch this year. It's not like every other year it's third down and you know the team's going to convert it just because they're going to run to the sticks and nobody's going to be there to cover.
Right. I mean,
And
like I think you made a good point though. Like he had Jalen Armour Davis and Daryl Baker and Kyer Elam. Like
yeah,
when those are your corners. I mean, that doesn't make your life very easy.
not at all. Not
So
at all.
I think that's a great point. I think the fact that I think it's one of the best defensive lines in the league, which is going to get pressure on quarterbacks. Not going to have as much time to throw. Not going to
At
have
all.
people. Quarterbacks aren't going to be sitting in the pocket for 10 seconds. I mean,
Exactly.
plus you have a couple good corner guys, cover guys in front of you. I mean, I think Hooker and Winston are set up to be in a nice spot this year. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I think, again though, it is another thing where the depth isn't very good. I mean, I do like Tony Adams, who was
I
brought
really
in.
like I Fun fact, I played against him in high school.
No way.
Yeah, he went to SLU High School in St. Louis, and
Nice.
so I think it was my sophomore or junior year. I think I'm a couple years older than him, but yeah, I played against him in high school.
Nice. Yeah, he is an interesting player. I mean, so you've got the Salah connection. Like he played for Robert Salah with the Jets, so
Yep.
he'll be like a great third safety. But behind him, I mean,
It's slim pickings.
well, I mean, here's the thing: like a lot of teams keep five safeties. I cannot even imagine who the fourth and fifth safety are going to be.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I
I
have no
mean,
clue.
So you have, I mean, your options are Bishop Fitzgerald, who I really liked as a UDFA. Hasn't done anything yet. Hasn't frankly shown enough to make the team yet.
Right.
Which he still could. I mean, I still think he's good enough to make the team, but we haven't seen it yet. You have Kendall Brooks, okay, Sanusi Kane, Jarek Reed. I mean, there's nobody there that's gonna. No offense to those guys, but I mean, you don't really want to rely on those guys.
No, not at all.
That's another spot I think you could look for some veteran additions.
Yes, indeed. Safety depth is very. I mean, after those three guys, like you said, it's just who can you rely on if somebody goes down confidently? Yeah, you could throw somebody out there, but are you confident in them? I don't think we have that guy yet. Maybe one of those guys steps up during camp and earns that respect to have the confidence in them to maybe rotate in whatever they got to do. But right now, another spot of concern with the depth wise, starter wise. I think we're good, but depth, like you said, is very slim.
Now, what do you think about the final wide receiver spot?
Oh man, I it's so tough because I really like Restrepo. I really do. I mean, he's a guy that he knows how to play the slot. He really does
Right.
know how to play the slot, and he has the chemistry with Cam Ward, obviously from Miami. Um, and then you have Bryce Oliver, and then the undrafted Tyron Montgomery, um, the guy from Illinois, the rookie from Illinois, I think, isn't he from Illinois? What's his
Hank
name?
Beatty, yeah, Hank Beatty.
Yeah, I heard he had a pretty good mini camp. Um, so if I were to pick right now, ah, it's so tough because at again with that spot with those lower in the depth chart guys, I feel like special teams matters too. Um, so oh man, I think Restrepo steps up and grabs it. If I were to pick right now, I would like to see my guy Tyron Montgomery have a good camp and earn it because I think he can do really good things on special teams too. Just with his athleticism, he's just an athletic freak that I think he's going to make some big plays in camp and maybe he earns it. And then Bryce Oliver too. I mean, he's a very solid receiver. It's honestly just nice that we even have a debate about it
Right.
because, I mean, before it was just they were all these type of guys from the second spot on. It was guys that we didn't even know if they could make an NFL roster. But right now, it's definitely I would say between Oliver and Restrepo.
Yeah.
Unless Montgomery comes out here and is just shows his ass off, he, yeah, I would say Restrepo just because of his chemistry and his ability to navigate the slot. He knows how to get open. He knows what spots on the field Cam Ward likes. Um, so yeah, and especially in the Dable offense where he utilizes the slot a lot. I think Restrepo could benefit from that. So that's going to be a very interesting and tight battle during camp that I'm going to be excited to hear about and see. But yeah, I would probably say Restrepo.
So, like you said, it's good to even be having this conversation because you typically like our wide receiver group is ass. I mean, it hasn't exactly been like the deepest room over the
Yeah,
years. I've made the case multiple times. It's probably the deepest receiver room we've ever had. Just in
yeah,
terms
I
of,
would agree.
I mean, so like I know you're a big Elick guy. So
Oh yeah,
you have Carnell, Wandale, Calvin, Elick, Chim. Those five are guaranteed to make the team,
guaranteed.
obviously. Um, so you're only fighting for one spot, like you said. Restrepo, Hank Beatty, Tyron Montgomery, Bryce Oliver, KJ Osborne, So here's the
Oh,
thing.
I forgot about KJ
That's the
too.
thing.
Man.
Like, I don't know. I know not everybody can keep up with like as much as I have to. Um, KJ. So obviously those guys made plays. Like Restrepo. I don't know if you know this. Restrepo caught more passes than anybody this summer.
Yep.
Like all the practices, he caught more than anybody. DK was actually second. Um, so Restrepo caught more passes than anybody this summer, and he has the chemistry with Cam. So that's points for him. Bryce Oliver made a couple great catches this summer, and he doesn't even. I mean, he is a receiver, but he made the team for his special teams.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, and John Bones Fassel, that's a huge part of, like, he's going to want a special teamer. So
Exactly.
that's why I think Oliver's the favorite. But then KJ Osborne is a veteran who has had multiple productive seasons already in the NFL. Like for the Vikings, I think he had 3 seasons with at least 500 yards.
Yeah,
So like
he was really good with the
he,
Vikings.
yeah, he's not a scrub. So and he looked great this summer. And then the 2 UDFAs both looked great. I mean, Tyron, I love Tyron. As soon as we signed him, I thought he was going to make the team. But that just goes to, and he hasn't even done anything wrong, but that just shows you how deep the
Yeah.
room is.
Yeah.
Because last year, Tyron easily makes the team.
Oh, easily. Easily.
So, and then I haven't even mentioned a couple of the other guys. So, Courtney Jackson was a waiver claim, and he's gotten some work as a returner, and he's looked pretty good. Obviously, he's not going to be the returner, but, he's looked pretty decent. Lance McCutcheon has caught a couple touchdown passes this summer. He looks pretty decent. Mason Kinsey's still here. I don't think he has a chance to make the team, but they're all, you have all these guys fighting for spots, and more than one deserve it. KJ Osborne definitely should be on a team, and I think Restrepo probably should be on a team.
Yes.
But I just think that the special teams is going to be the difference. I think Oliver is probably going to make it right now, in my opinion, just because of Bones Fassel.
Right.
I think it would be interesting to see if Restrepo would even want to be on the practice squad again, because I'm pretty sure he would probably get an opportunity somewhere else.
Oh, there's somewhere.
Yeah. So I think Beatty and Montgomery would make it to the practice squad, which would be nice.
Yes.
But
I would love to keep Montgomery just because his upside seems he hasn't played a lot of football. So like spending time around these good receivers and this upgraded offense and just learning for a year would be the best case for him. And I think that's ultimately what happens with him. Because he has the special teams upside too. I mean, he
yeah,
can go out, he can be a gunner, he can be a backup returner. I mean, whatever. He's fast, he's athletic. Um, and then Beatty is just like your pure receiving. Like he can catch the ball. So we have some young guys, and the depth is just unreal. It's gonna be so hard. I could only imagine for the coaching staff to have to pick between these guys. Um, but yeah, like you said, Oliver, I'd probably agree with that. It's so hard because they brought in they signed KJ Osborne too. I mean, they handpicked
yeah,
him. So it's like, man, yeah, that's gonna be this training camp is very exciting. And I mean, it's gotta be exciting for those guys too to be able to compete every single snap, every single second that they're there in training camp, which is only gonna make them all better in the end.
right.
Um, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who may I think any of them could do it. It's just a matter of who goes out there in training camp and is undeniable to these coaches. So yeah, that's a battle that I'm looking forward to, and I'm looking forward to see the outcome of who makes it.
Yeah, I could understand the argument for any of them to make it, which is, it's a good problem to have. What do you think about this? Is probably the last position battle we'll talk about tonight. And then we'll get back together next week for episode 2, and we'll go more in depth into some things. What do you think about the quarterback room? So obviously, like, Ward is a starter for hopefully forever, for a while. And then you have Mitchell Trubisky, who this summer he was clearly the second best quarterback. I
Yeah.
mean, he head and shoulders above Levis and Hooker. Um, two questions: do you think they keep three quarterbacks, and do you think Levis will be on the team?
Oh man, I was hoping Levis did a little better during minicamp.
Yeah,
Um, but does Dable have a history of having three quarterbacks on his rosters? Do you know?
that's a good question. Let me look real
I
quick.
want to say because in New York he had Jones, um, the Italian.
That's
I forget
true.
his name.
DeVito, Tommy. Yeah.
DeVito, yeah, DeVito, and then I'm pretty sure they did have three.
So on their initial roster, because I know DeVito was pulled up from the practice squad at one point.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true too.
So on their initial roster last year, they did have three. They had Dart, Wilson, and Winston. So, and then let's just go back one more year just to see a trend. Because I think you're right. I think it's going to be probably three every year. Um, which is, I have a question for you if that is the case, because that puts the team in an interesting bind. I feel like. Let's see. Yeah, so like in 2020, yeah. So in 2024, it
Three.
was Daniel Jones, Tommy DeVito, Drew Lock. So there's a trend there. I don't know. What do you? So I don't think there's any chance that Hendon Hooker makes it over Levis,
I don't
unless.
either.
I mean, I hate to say that because I'm a
And
Tennessee fan.
I like Hooker a lot, and he hasn't really gotten his chance per se. I mean, he went in and backed up Goff and um out of college after the injury. So I mean, he's still finding his way, and I just think just because of the draft capitals that we used on Levis, we're still gonna try to get something out of him. Um, and I like Levis. I mean, for some reason, I still believe he could be a decent quarterback. It's just the mental errors that he I don't know what it maybe being around Dable in this offense will help him a little bit. But I think it would be Levis over Hooker just because of the capital we used on him.
Yeah,
And we brought Hooker in for probably not much. Um, so yeah, I would say Levis, and then honestly, hopefully Levis goes out there and shows out during the preseason. And
that's the
then
thing. That's what you need to happen. You need both of them because if both of them do well in the preseason training camp, maybe somebody will give you something for Levis, and then
exactly.
Hendon can just be QB3.
Yeah. And
That would be
that's
ideal.
best case scenario. Um and I hope Will can just for his sake. Um I mean, he was thrown into the fire with a very bad offense, very bad offensive coaching.
Yes.
Um, so he has, I think, some more grace with the front office than Hooker, just because they know what he went through. No, he was not good. Yes, he made a lot of mistakes, but he did show flashes during his time starting. Um, so yeah, I just really hope he takes advantage of the preseason of training camp and just gets rid of some of the mental errors that he's making, and maybe a team sends us a pick for him, a late round pick for him, and then that would be best case, and then you just have Hendon Hooker on the practice squad or as the third quarterback on the depth chart, and then we go from there.
Yeah, that would be ideal. I mean, because at the same time, like it would just be better for both parties for Levis to get a start somewhere else because he doesn't have a future here. I mean, best case scenario, he would be the backup, and
Right.
I'm sure he doesn't want that either. I'm sure he feels like he still has something to prove. So
Yeah. Yeah.
best
Exactly.
case scenario for everybody would just be to move on and see if he can get a chance somewhere else.
Exactly.
But
He
I'm
needs to go to
interested to
that
watch.
quarterback university over there in San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm interested in watching what it'll be like this summer in the preseason, because we've got a couple good opponents too. So
Yeah.
it's been interesting to see how they handle it.
Yes, indeed. I hope he takes advantage of it. I really do. For him and for us, just so we can get something out of him, and hopefully he gives himself another shot to be a starter somewhere else that's needing a quarterback, or a quarterback goes down, or whatever the case is. He's got to take advantage of this time this summer and in the preseason,
Right.
and hopefully it works out.
All right. So anything else you want to touch on the first episode?
Um,
We'll
Not
have
really.
we'll have more to talk about next
Yeah, for
week,
sure.
because we'll have like, the beginning parts of camp. Who knows what'll happen this week? So we'll have some more to
Yes,
talk about.
sir.
We'll kind of get in, and then eventually, as we work through the summer, the next month or so, we'll eventually go through our roster projections, and we'll talk about all the different battles and stuff. So,
Yes, sir. Sounds good to me.
all right, well, let's get a tighten up from you, Kobe.
Yes, sir. Let's go tighten up.
All right, tighten up. We'll see you guys soon.